It's your boy. How's it going, Ricktastic? Bop, bop. How's it going, little peanut? You and I both just have our views of soul. You're not alone. How's it going, Hiki Show? I'm doing pretty well. We're gonna get some animation done here. Ba 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 ba. Love it. Never. Let me know how the music volume is. If it's too quiet or too loud, I can adjust it. What's good, Jimbo? We do a little cartooning. Dude, my neck is in so much pain. It's not even funny, man. Oh, yeah. It hurts so bad. I don't even know what I did, but it is just awful. Horrendous. Music's good? Okay. Yeah, we're doing a really long shot today, which is historically not my favorite thing in the world. But you gotta do what you gotta do. They can't all be short and sweet. I need my rocking chair. And I need my, yeah, bop boop. Find your way. And then we need to figure out how we want to frame the shot. Do do do. I don't know what I'm looking at. My whole screen just started like dancing for 1,500 joules. I don't know what those are, Hickey Show, but thank you. I would say good luck, and I checked you. I checked it and loved your content. Thank you, King Tuna. Glad you enjoyed it. The goat for 1,000 joules. I don't know what this is or what it converts to. I'm too disconnected to understand. But I see you and I appreciate you. How's it going, RTOF? How are we framing this shot here? I think I want the camera to look from behind them. But I don't know if that makes sense. What your friend says, it's fire. Yeah, I think something like this makes sense. I don't know. YOLO. Seems well done. Thanks, Mr. Rigtastic. I'm really happy with how this shot turned out. I wasn't expecting this to be a shot that I really care about, but I like how all the motion and stuff is going for this shot. And I wasn't sure if I was going to do this shot at all, but I like it a lot. Yeah. I have seen a little bit of the World Cup. I'm from Canada, so I watched a couple games with Canada in them. I have never been a soccer guy, so I like sports. Soccer is not one that I find very interesting to watch, unfortunately. So it doesn't really do anything for me. I can see this shot in my head, but it doesn't really. I don't think it works the way I think it does. The way I picture it does. My team beats Canada. It was a good game. Yeah, I remember. I think it was Morocco that knocked Canada out. I didn't really feel two ways about it. Like I said, I'm not really super into team sports, so that doesn't help. But yeah, I am. Yeah, I've never really been a big sport watcher. I'm not really into like team sports, and what that means is what I mean by that is like not sports played by a team, because I don't watch like golf or anything. But I don't really understand or enjoy like team sport culture, where you're like super diehard for like a specific team. I don't really get that. I guess I get it. I just don't. It doesn't really do anything for me, you know. How's it going, Scald? Happy to see you animating. Misunderstood your last bit entirely. Assumed you were just done with animating nearly through my mouse through the screen. No, we're here. We're still rocking. Dakaposhi can't stick around, but as promised, here's my Kickstarter cash. Thank you, Dakaposhi. I appreciate you. Round of applause for Dakaposhi. A real homie. I appreciate you, fam. Yeah, the video has been doing really well. It was not intended to be a video that I thought would do well. The only reason I made that video was to be like, I know that people that watch my stuff are gonna be like, what are we doing now that the Kickstarter didn't get funded? Like, what's the plan? Because I have an existing fan base that's going to be wondering that. So I was like, I gotta say something to those people so that they know what's going on. The intention of that video was not to do well or cultivate a new audience in any capacity. It was like the most low effort, nothing video I could have made just to get the message out to my viewers. And it's still doing really well. Don't know what's up with that. Great. Not complaining. I've been wanting to be a 2D animator, so I watched a lot of indie animators. Only get to see you yesterday. You gotta definitely be my new favorite. This is truly impressive. Thank you, Jimbo. Appreciate it. Thanks, Scald. Apparently it can't send exactly 20, so it's split in two. Yippee. Thank you, Dakaposhi. I appreciate you. Tennis is definitely a favorite of mine. Played it for a while. It's real nice. I smell peak in the making. Thanks, Mip. Yeah. Sorry, there's a lot of new people. Thank you all for being here. Yeah, I will get back to that. Where'd you go? Let's go, Deco. But yeah, the point of that video was not to be like viral or get a bunch of subscribers. Weirdly, it happens to be like one of the best performing videos I've ever made. Not complaining, but it's just like kind of ironic that that's the one that's doing really well. Whatever. So for those of you who are new, hello. I've been doing animation for a while. The point of that video was to kind of let everybody know what's up with how I'm feeling. I'm always going to try to animate as much as I can, like I always have. So the plan is not to quit. I can see a trajectory where I'm forced to quit. And maybe not quit, but like drastically change how I do things and the amount that I do it in. So the point of that video wasn't to like fearmonger and be like, I'm quitting, because I'm not quitting. It's more just that like, if this project doesn't go well, which I don't know how it's going to go, there might be a world where I have to scale things back a lot, because I'm just freaking tired all the time. Yeah, have you heard of WoQuest? I have not. I didn't notice your latest video was doing so good until you mentioned it. Remember the numbers being lower. Dude, it's so weird why the last video is still doing so great. I don't know if it's just the algorithm or if it's just it has to be something weird going on in the algorithm that's just like, yeah, people will love this for whatever strange reason. YouTube thinks that was a banger. It is frustrating because like I put a lot of effort into my animations, and then it's like that video took me 20 minutes to just record me like being like blah 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 and put a big ugly watermark over all this animation that I've worked hard on, and then it's just like, yeah, this is the banger, this is the one we'll show everybody. Cool. So dumb, but whatever. I'm glad it's getting to people. So I'm not complaining, but obviously I'm complaining, you know? YouTube's like that. Feels like a backhanded consultation project. Yeah. Yeah, and Skifters did really well compared to like everything else I've made. So if we have a similar like spike with this new show, then great. The Kickstarter was an effort to just like try a new avenue to become profitable, because I've been making all these cartoons for free forever, which I want to hold on to so badly. I want them to be free. I don't want to make it like paid access only, because that would just suck. Not everyone can afford to watch, and I believe in accessibility in art. The more people that have the option to consume things, the better. So I want it to be free as long as I can. But in doing it for free, that's just kind of like cultivated a poor business model that's resulted in me just like making no money ever. Which is starting to like, I'm starting to see the trajectory where it's like, okay, I need to find a way to become profitable, because I am cash negative, you know? Yeah, I could see that being the case, Jimbo. Yeah, that might be what happened. Heck yeah, we got this. Also, I wanted to swing back to Let's Go Deco's comment about tennis. I made a tennis animation a while ago. I've done a lot of sports animations. The first animation that I ever did, it's not about, I guess not really about a sport, but it was about Guitar Hero. And eventually that animation landed me my first like animation gig. I made a music video for a band called Dragon Force. And then that was my first like animation job ever. And then I got a job working for a different music duo that I worked for a few years, and I was working on cartoons professionally, hating it because I didn't have any like creative control. So then I quit that job to start working on indie animation, and I've been doing that ever since. But when I made that Guitar Hero animation, the idea was like trying to take something like ordinary that exists in reality and trying to make it like super animated and ridiculous, so that when you do that thing, like it's really fun. So then I kind of got the same ideas when I was like bowling one time. I was like, oh, like imagine if you could do this with the bowling ball. Imagine if you can do that with the bowling ball. And then I made a bowling animation based on that. And then I did a tennis animation. And then I did a tetherball animation. And then I made Skifters, which was less about the sport, but I wanted to make a unique, original sport that didn't exist, which was called skifting. It ended up being not really about that, and the script just kind of like ran away with something else, and it became not really about the sport, which is fine. But I've always kind of revolved around the whole like sporting iconography of different sports and stuff. I've always been kind of like circling around that, all those kinds of jams. Yeah, the plan is to the episodes always come out on Patreon early. There aren't any episodes done for this show yet, but usually all the episodes are on Patreon for a week or two before they come out publicly. Through the Fire and Flames, yeah, that's the guys. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm a big Dragon Force fan. I made a song. I made a music video to their song Fury of the Storm. Like a fan-made music video. And then they ended up seeing it and they liked it. And then after a couple more projects, I got a little bit better, and then they reached out to me and commissioned me to make a music video. So there's a music video that they made called, or a song they made called Razorblade Meltdown, which I animated the music video for. You could definitely see a lot of my style, the direction in there. It's pretty dated considering like what I do now. It's before anything that's on my channel. So it's much more amateurish, but you know, there's a couple of cool shots there. Nothing crazy that I'm super proud of, but you know, it's there. I really like that band. Mark Hudson, the lead singer, asked me to make some more stuff at a later time, and I started working with him for a little bit, and then I ended up backing out just because I couldn't. Excuse me, I couldn't be directed. I just hate being told what to make. So, how's it going, Ready and Go? Fellow indie creator, I tip my hat, one legend to another. I tip my hat to you, one legend to another. What's that from? Pop quiz. Pop quiz. How well do you know animation? Dude, I can't be giving it. I can't be acting like I know animation well, man. I don't watch frickin' anything nowadays. I can't do it. I don't have it in me. Okay, old lady is facing this way, and Quarter's gonna walk into frame, and they're gonna face each other. Rango. Well done. Well done. You all pass. You all pass. How's it going, Wizards? Shout out to another real homie. How's it going? The Epical. Dude, has anybody been playing Black Ops 1 and 2 on PlayStation? I'm saying that because I can see Black Ops 1 on my TV right now. Bro, I don't have a PlayStation, but my FOMO is immeasurable. Dang it. That's the jam right there. That's the stuff I grew up on. You tell me you didn't show up the opening hours of New Minions, fake animation fan. Dude, the last movie I saw in theaters was the Minecraft movie. I get flack for this all the time. I can't watch stuff. I don't have time. I have time, but it's like any time that I spend watching something, I immediately start to feel like guilty because I'm like, I gotta get to work. I'm wasting time. I'm losing value, and then I stop and I go work. It's not good. It's not a flex. I am seriously lacking the discipline to relax and take care of my mind. Okay, this is the shot we want for sure. So yeah, I'm like super duper uncaught up on everything you could possibly imagine. I haven't watched anything. But I will say, I make an exception for Hiroyuki Imaishi. Just announced a new project working with the guy who wrote for him for Gurren Lagann, Kill la Kill, and Promare, which is like the dream lineup, baby. So I'm all about that. Definitely gonna watch whatever the heck that is. I'm trying to open this shot because I need to borrow some stuff. Shot 54. The colors brought you. Okay, I'm going to export this, and this. That's all I need right now. Maybe one of these. Export selection. Shots. I'm working on Indie Pilot for about 8 months now. It's been quite the journey. Holy moly, ready and go. We have a Discord server. If you have anything to show, I will be happy to check it out after the stream. We have a spot for like sharing art, if you are so inclined. But 8 months is crazy, dude. That is like, I don't have the patience for something like that. Well, I guess it depends on how your pipeline is. But I find I don't come up with that many ideas. I try to not to. Because when you come up with ideas, I get excited about the next idea, and animation takes so freaking long that it's hard to not want to just like move on to the next thing because you're excited about it. So like if I spent 8 months on a pilot, by the time it came out and it was like, let's say people liked it and they were like, cool, like now what? I'd be like, I'm done. I'm not making this. I'm out. I'm making something else. Like, it's the next idea time, baby. I don't got time for that. I've always said that if any of these projects does well, I don't have the stamina to go back. Like, a better way to put it is like, solo projects are nuts, admire and pity. Yeah, it's no small feat. 8 months of work is just crazy. That's a lot. I've always said that, like, I have a show on my channel. Let's pick. I was gonna say Skifters, but let's pick a less popular one. I have a show on my channel, a single OVA called Ultrasonic Overhand. It's just like a 20-minute video. if for whatever strange reason tomorrow Ultrasonic Overhand went viral and everybody was just like, wow, we want more of this show, I wouldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I would be like, I'm so glad you liked it, but like, it was meant to be as short as it was, and now it's time for me to work on something new. So like, by all means, like, join me, come watch the new thing, but I'm not going back and making something longer than it was ever intended to be, just because, you know, that for whatever weird reason was the one. You know what I mean? Feel that in my soul. Can't all be Hayao Miyazaki. Yeah, it's, I just don't have it in me to, like, you know, and that's why, like, I know people are trying to help. I get that. There's lots of people that are, like, responding to that video I recently made who are like, why don't you, like, make, like, versus content, or make, like animate some trending topic, or, like, do a collaboration to, like, help grow your audience and then make an indie show later. And it's like because that's not what I want. And I get that that's stupid. I get that that's maybe, like, not wise. Wise is a good word. Because, like, you know, I'm trying to make something original that's way harder to get people to be attached to than if I made, like, a fan animation of something to, like, try to go viral. Because, like, I could be making memes about the World Cup or something super relevant right now and try to make it doing that, but I would just hate myself, and I can't do that to myself. When what I'm doing is already not really working and there's no guarantee that that'll work, I'd much rather shoot my shot making something that means something to me than do something because, like, oh, maybe I'll go viral. Then the people that are watching me for, like, the, you know, for stuff that I don't want to make, stuff I don't want to do. And then I've cultivated an audience of people that don't want to watch the thing that I want to make. You know what I mean? It's not for me. And if that's stupid and that means that there's only 14 of you watching right now instead of 1,000, I'd so much rather that. I before I started doing this, I was doing the music videos. But before I started getting paid for that, I was trying to do, like, some indie stuff, and I was like, what am I gonna do? What works? What can I do to try to, like, go viral or whatever, right? Like, that was my, at the time I was like, that's what I have to do. Like, I have to go viral and then I can make whatever I want. If I was rich, if I had $1 million, I could do whatever I want. So then it became like, okay, like, what can I do? And I was like, I'm trying to make all these original characters, and I'm going back in time to my old philosophy. I don't condone this behavior. But at the time, I was like, okay, going back in time in my mind, and I was like, what can I do that'll be successful? And I was like, well, I'm trying to make this original thing with original characters, and it's way harder to get people to, like, love this original character in a few seconds of animation because they don't know who they are. But if I do, like, an animation about something that people already know what it is, like Star Wars or Marvel or whatever was popular at the time, I could, you know, I could just do that because the audience already loves the characters, so I don't have to do any of the heavy lifting. Like, you already love Luke Skywalker. I don't have to establish him as a lovable character because Disney already did that for me. George Lucas already did it. You know? So I made a Star Wars animation. don't hear what I'm not saying. There's nothing wrong with making a Star Wars animation. There's nothing wrong with making an animation of stuff that you are a fan of. Fan art is a totally legitimate, reasonable thing to create. People have made fan art of my stuff. It's an amazing feeling. People make fan art, and there's nothing wrong with that. But when my intention was to make Star Wars art, not because I was a fan, but because like people would eat it up, and I could take the quick route, that is such a bad, horrible feeling, because I made it and people liked it more than the other stuff that I was making, and that was the most soul-crushing thing ever, because I was like, all right, I did it. Like, here's the Star Wars animation, and people are like, whoa, this is cool. It wasn't like viral by any means, because I was not popular and my stuff was whatever, but like that was so soul-crushing that it was like, cool, that worked. Now I'm just gonna, what am I gonna do now? Like, make Star Wars content? I don't want to make, what am I doing? And that was such an eye-opening, like, an eye-opening thing that was just like, this is not the road I want to take. So I've gotten a lot of people in my comments that are like, you should try doing this. It's like, I know you're trying to help. I can't do it. I can't do it. Join the server and post a thing from my tune. Heck yeah, I will check that out after the stream. Looking forward to that. Black pig, never. Okay. Make sure that we're happy with this. Quarter's going to approach. Ring the bell and the will. Approach the old lady. $140 is good for now. There you go. There's so many levels of OG. I've been watching since this animation. I've been watching since that animation. I appreciate everyone for being here, new and old. How's it going, Tom? I was just going over that a little while ago. It's great that people are finding my art. That is the best performing video I've ever made. I'm super happy that it's worked. And sorry, let me dial that back, because I was just differentiating that earlier, and I'm realizing that not everyone's been here since the start. I'm very happy that people are watching the video because of algorithms randomly choosing it to be successful. Wonderful. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you all. It's super annoying and ironic that the video I put the least effort possible in is the one that YouTube deemed meaningful enough to promote. Super lame. So happy everyone's here. Frustrated that this is the way it's gone. My intention upon making that video was to inform my pre-existing fans as to where I was at with the show, because lots of people were like, what's happening now? Because the Kickstarter did not get funded. So I made that video to enlighten all of them. The intention was not to cultivate a new audience with that type of video. The fact that it has is just more something I'm kind of looking at saying, cool, like let's just take the dub and try not to think too much about it. I certainly don't plan to pivot into being like a content creator, YouTuber guy who's like, hey, dancing in front of the camera and clickbaiting all the time. Now that did well, the hope is now that people are here watching, or more people are here watching, that they will stick around and watch the cartoons when they come out. My plan has never been and will never be to flood your feed with like a million, like, you see it all the time. Like, that's just the way that marketing in this day and age works, is like a day in the life in my studio making this content and stuff. Like, there's nothing wrong with those kinds of videos, but it's so not for me. It's not my kind of thing. I'd rather just put animations out and people watch them, and that's it. Like, I stream to kind of like show face while I work. It's a good feeling. It's just a good thing to be here and show you that I'm here doing stuff without having to do all that song and dance. But yeah, it's bittersweet that video is the one that did well. Welcome, Mr. G. How's it going? Since when do we have a TV? Yeah, we now have a not that one. We have a TV. I have a TV behind me. I have a playlist of stuff that's yeah, it's so, the YouTube algorithm is such a strange thing to wrangle. Yeah, what are you gonna do, wizard? What are you gonna do? So we're gonna see someone further with creative ladder, making the dreams something real. Thanks, Wage. I feel like I'm getting better. Keep getting better as I work. And I feel like in a year, I'm going to look back at that video and where I am right now in this current headspace and laugh. Because I am getting better and the trajectory analytically is pointing upwards. I think in a year's time, this channel is going to look very different in terms of the size of the following. I hope that's the case. Feel very happy that things are starting to work, but I do feel like I'm in that middle zone. Like, you always see those creators, it's like, I have no one following, no subs, no nothing. And then you see the big titans, and very rarely do, at least for me, do I see like a lot of people who are like right in between. I really feel yeah, in between. So it's an interesting spot to be. It's like it's starting to work, but it's like still have a long way to go. Sounds good, Solon. Thanks for stopping in. Smooches. Sorry, I was talking about the TV. The TV in my office space, I keep on trying to add to my office space for myself, that it's like when I walk into it, it's like a creative space. So I've had the easel that has like doodles that I've been working on, and I like just like being welcomed by them when I walk in, because it's like, yes, okay, art, let's go. And the CRT behind me is just like rotating a playlist of videos that inspire me. So it's a bunch of like Call of Duty montages from my childhood, and some like animation stuff. It's just like looping a playlist of maybe like a dozen videos. Thanks, Tom. Thanks, Wage. When do we get a projector? Okay. It's time for the TV rant. Okay? Just give me 2 seconds with this. I've been driving everybody crazy in my family and friends with this topic. This thing looks so freaking good. It looks so freaking good. And I have another one on my desk. This is just like plugged into my computer. I'm filming my show in 4:3. Okay. So for those of you that don't know about aspect ratio, you can see that this is like more like a square. It's narrow. So that's what old clip farming incoming. I don't clip. If you want to clip, go for it. I wanted to see what my animation looked like in the correct framing. Okay, I haven't looked at a CRT since I was a little kid, so I bought the CRT. I didn't buy the CRT. I borrowed it from my dad to be like, okay, I want to see what the show looks like, properly framed. And plugged it. I got a converter, plugged it into my computer. It's like 240p, but it looks better than any other monitor I've ever had. The black is so deep and dark, and the light that comes out of it is so like bright, and like it's like there's a magic orb inside that's projecting the color out. It looks so good. I have like my wallpaper. That's right. Yeah, shot. It's the dude. The color that shoots out of it is just like, oh my goodness. And now I've been like going down the rabbit trail of these like CRT elitists who are like, yeah, CRTs are the life. So then I found and bought this one. It looks so good, dude. The glow, the camera can't do it justice. This, like looking at it through a camera, like can't do justice for how fantastic it looks. And every time I show people, they're like I show them like this, they're like, it's just, I remember what those TVs were like. But who ever like sat one next to a modern computer monitor and watched them at the same time? So I've been dragging people to my office and I'm like, look at the difference between them. And everybody is like, wow, it looks freaking good. Dude, we designed LCD screens back in the day to get a quick solution to like make the TV like more defined and flat and light and all these technical advancements. Great. But we lost something when we walked away from CRTs. And we need to go back 15 years, take the CRT and just increase the definition, and that's it. Why haven't we done that? Why haven't we gone back to the CRT television and made it 1080p, 4K, whatever? Why is no one making that? Like all these CRT elitists who I've been like plugged into, they're all like, yeah, you want to find this TV and you want to find that TV. Stop finding freaking TVs. Somebody go, somebody smarter than me, go engineer a freaking new modern CRT line of TVs that have modern day resolution specs, but capture that old CRT glow. I can't express how magical it looks. You just gotta experience it. If you're privileged enough to find a CRT, plug it into your computer. Get a converter, costs you $10, and plug that thing in. Looks so good. I'm done. Okay, I'm done talking about CRTs. I'm so sorry. Yeah, 4.3 is a whole other thing. I can rant about that as well. Dude, when Gurren Lagann and like Kill la Kill pop up on this thing, it looks so good. It's crazy that a show can look better in like 240p. Oh, it's just so. How's it going, Safi Art? I have lots to say about Blender. How's it going, Dan? Peeking. I'm spotting you. That's fair, Mr. G. I have not experienced OLED yet, but I want to kind of see what's up. Thanks, Safi. Going back to 4.3, and then I'll talk about Blender. 4.3. When I made Skifters, and if you look at all the videos on my channel, they're all filmed in ultra wide. Oh my gosh, I have so much. I need to just stop animating and make a podcast. Which is, I mean, basically what this is at this point. Apologies for the lack of animation that's going on right now. We're definitely moving slow. 4.3. When I made all those other things, if you look back in time, you'll notice that they are all ultra wide. That is because I really like how ultra wide looks. There's a lesson every time that I make something. I accidentally learn the lesson that is being taught in the in the show. Just because whatever I'm subconsciously like learning I'm accidentally like implicating into my show, and then I'm like, oh, that's definitely what I was going through when I was learning that. And there's a lesson in Ultrasonic Overhand that one of the leads teaches, where he says, you'll never be the best or whatever trying to replicate what someone else has done. And during that time when I was making that animation, I learned that there is a big difference between what you like to consume and what you like to make. And it's okay for you to like something and be inspired by it and not having to become it. Which is a cool lesson to learn. Okay, there we go. So I like widescreen animation, and when I watch stuff, I enjoy the widescreen because it frames the character and the background in such a pretty way, where it's like, oh, look at like there they are, and there's the trees in the background, and it all looks really amazing. I like how it looks. So naturally, when you try to make something and you're a beginner, you look to the things that you like and you try to replicate them, which is totally fine. Like if you were to, like, I'm not a musician, but if I became a musician tomorrow, probably what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to start making music in the genre of which I like to listen to. That just makes sense, right? But that doesn't mean that, you're going to enjoy writing rap just because you like listening to rap. You might prefer making metal or whatever that is. I constantly found myself frustrated with the widescreen over the last 4 projects, being like, how do I fill the frame with my characters and get the stupid background out of here? Because I don't care about the background. I suck at making backgrounds and I don't like it. So why do I have this? And then I was like, oh my gosh, I have this really wide frame that requires a bunch of background to fill it, which is not what I like to do. So this animation, the philosophy is to be like, okay, like, practice what you preach. If you don't like making content with a wide screen, but you like watching it, like, those can be separate. So I switched to 4:3, and I'm loving it because it's so easy to freaking fill the frame with my characters. If you watch the reel that's playing over there, the frame is always full of the characters, which is what I like to do, and I love that. So like, even when I have shots like that you guys haven't really seen full of, but even when I have shots like I mean, I'm doing pretty okay with the backgrounds, but even when I have a shot like this and there's like a ton of background, Swan fills so much of this frame, and Quarter fills like all of this bit when she's like doing her flip and stuff, that it's like, even this wide shot where they're like kind of further away and there's a bunch of background, like, they fill the frame so much. If this frame was this wide, there would be so much of this house. I don't care about get the freaking house out of here. Get that out of here. So I'm loving 4:3. Apologies, I'm not reading. I'm ranting. So Anime Carlson, like, this is crazy. Thanks, Dan. I also really like how colorful they are. It's cute. Appreciate you. YouTube art, heck yeah. Any movie or franchise inspired you to animate these kinds of car chase scenes? I'll get to that in a sec. Just before I quickly gloss over Blender, because we talked for a second about Blender. I use Maya because it's what I know. Blender was not super popular. It was a bit more controversial as to like whether or not it was going to make it when I was learning, so I chose Maya. I understand that Maya is not free. I do use an indie license, so it's a little cheaper. I have mad respect for Blender. I get lots of people here that are like, oh, like on the stream, who are like, oh, like, you use Maya and I want to make stuff like you. Or I want to make 3D stuff that looks 2D or whatever. And they ask, like, what software do you use? I almost always recommend Blender because Blender is free and you can do everything that I do in Blender. I know that you guys like my stuff, and I'm not going to say that it's not a lot of hard work, but there's nothing special here that's happening that Blender can't do. If anything, I already only used 5% of Maya's ability, and you don't by any means need to use Maya to do what I'm doing. So, Blender, let's go. Having a chance to frame it in 4:3 and ultra wide sounds like a bit of a nightmare. It's a nightmare. It's probably really fun with an actual camera, but in animation, I just gotta fill the frame with so much stuff I don't care about. How's it going, Mystic? Fooly Cooly, really good. Love Fooly Cooly. I approve the 4:3 apologism. Do you think that Maya does some stuff better for you? Let's say this. I think that Maya is fantastic. It does everything that I want really well. It's super clean. It's super easy to use. It's super not that complicated. And I have nothing but big respect for Maya. That being said, what I do is not very complicated. As far as like software goes, it looks good because I've put a lot of time into like honing the style to make it look good. But mechanically, there's nothing happening here that is special. I can go over my entire pipeline, which I'm gonna, now that we're having this conversation. It's not gonna take long because it's so super simple. I can go over my entire pipeline in like 2 seconds. But I have not used Blender, so no shade to Blender. I'm sure it's great, but I haven't used it, so I can't like compare them. All I can say is that Maya is fantastic. That does not mean Blender's not fantastic, but Maya definitely does everything that I need to in a very meaningful way. When I say I don't do anything complicated, what I mean is there's really only a few steps to my pipeline. One of them is modeling, which I assume is handled the exact same way as Blender, where you start with a cube, everybody starts with a cube, and then you subdivide it and keep on like changing things until the cube is the correct shape. So I model everything that way, and then we end up with Quarter's head, which was at one time a cube, and I just manipulated it like you would in Blender. Then you rig it, which is again probably not the same, but the exact same levels of complexity in Blender because Blender is open source, which means people can invent whatever they want and program it in, and it will work in Blender. So I don't know what rigging capacity is out there, but I know for a fact that there's lots of great ones because people have made awesome stuff in Blender. So that's not super complicated in terms of my pipeline. Then I UV unwrap everything. A lot of people hate UV unwrapping. I really like UV unwrapping. It's definitely an important step for what I do. So what that means is if I go to my UV editor, basically those 3D shapes I was talking about get unfolded into what's called UVs. So now I have all these different like individual pieces that are just unfolded. And then I put them into Photoshop or whatever. And then I have my texture in Photoshop that's being projected onto the character. That's where the magic happens in terms of my style. And by magic, I mean lack of magic. I don't use any shaders. There's no automation in my work. And what that means is there's no shaders. It's just a blank surface shader, which is technically a shader, with the texture plugged in. And then the reason it's running like real time in here is because like the raw texture is just being put onto the character without any shadows or any reflections. There's no lights in any of my scenes. There's no shadows in any of my scenes. So when you see there's shadows in like Quarter's face, so like her face is casting a shadow on the bottom of her chin and her neck is darker. If we look at this old lady's legs, you can see that like her shorts are casting a shadow on her leg. That's not an actual shadow, that's just plugged into the shader. So these faces are drawn on the shader. These faces are colored darker than these faces. So it's a fake shadow. The shadow's not actually being cast. I just drew it on like you would a 2D animation. So it's kind of like the shading and style is being done on a direction level rather than a technical level. Which is why I say everything that I do can be done in Blender, because obviously I'm sure in Blender you can just plug in a file and go. All of my hair physics, jiggle physics, all of that stuff in my work is also done by hand. Maya has built-in like physics engines and stuff. I don't use any of them. I just use blend shapes and manipulate everything by hand like you would a leg or a foot. So yeah, not to sell my work short. Obviously, it takes a lot of effort, and I work hard. But there's no magic. There's no magic like magic shader that I'm using. That's like I got the secret sauce. Your stuff's underrated. I'm undeniably mad. Thanks, Dan. Blender's awesome until you get rendering time. That's where Maya wins. How's it going, cowboy? It's becoming more popular, I feel, in the 3D space. People who are going for painterly style. I'm not sure if it's similar to what you're doing with texturing, paints, and Photoshop and stuff like that. Yeah, I've always found that to be easier or like more straightforward. I also don't have like a crazy. Just now recommending a series instead of Kickstarter failed. Right, Starlight? That's what I'm saying. What was he saying? Yeah, I also don't have a really crazy computer. So I never really have had like anything bougie. So I've always had to kind of like err on the side of like being conscious about what I can bite off in terms of what my computer can bite off. So that's also dictated my style a lot, because I don't have like the processing power to do a lot of what these softwares could, because my computer is not that crazy. And there's nothing I can really do about that now, because I got no money. But dang, I need a new processor. My processor is definitely the bottleneck. It is so behind. And I'm feeling it. Especially when I try to play like video games, dude. It takes me so long to load a video game up, because my processor's just like, you want me to what? You want me to load all those models? Are you kidding me? And it's embarrassing how bad my processor is. My friends will be like, let's play this game. And I'm like, yeah, let's play. And it's like, they're all in a lobby waiting for me for like 5 minutes for my computer to be like, sucks. So freaking lame. Bark and a bark. The only breath that no one knows. And a bark. It's the last sign you ever hear. Worst time to go shop on computers, right? Bad timing, even if I had money. will you be selling plushes or acrylic cheese for characters to help fund your show? I will not be doing that because I can't afford to produce that. I had all of that on the Kickstarter page because Kickstarter is a great way to fund that stuff because I get the money first. But I don't have the money to invest in an inventory of things like that. So I won't be doing anything like that. I've tried before. I've done some merchant stuff. In my experience, a lot of people will say they'll buy that stuff. Ooh, that's not what I wanted. Okay, close. Don't save. Let's hope we didn't just F that up pretty hard. It's never been lucrative for me because I think my following is just too small. Here's my dream, though. You guys want to see my dream? I know that's not helpful. But I'm going to do it anyway. Panty and stocking. Good smile. You always see, like, anime models, right? And the problem with anime models, maybe it's not a problem, but, like, the thing that bugs me about anime models is they're never perfectly on model because in anime you have like black outlines, right? So I don't know if any of you know what panty and stocking is. It's an anime where there's black outlines. Like every anime, there's line art, which means that this is off model. They still look good, but I don't have the line art because of the nature of my style is lineless, which means maybe not this pose because this is not super flattering of what I'm capable of, but this design would go so hard as a statue because it would be on model. Like imagine this product of this character, I can get it 1-to-1 in terms of being on model. That's so freaking cool. This stuff would go so good as that. But I got to invest in inventory of things that are probably not going to sell for a while with my following. So, no, I don't have any money. Which means I can't make these. But I would love to. That is like the dream. Because I think my stuff would look so good as that specific thing. Plushies, exact same thing. There's no lines in my work. Like I was ready to. I'd already reached out to like manufacturers for the PVC and the plushies to make characters of this. I was ready for the Kickstarter, but we didn't get funded, so I don't have any money. Eyes closed. Yeah, we had stickers and stuff, but they weren't selling, so I had to remove them. I couldn't afford to keep them up. Yeah, a lot of people say they will, and then if it's like not their style or whatever, then they don't buy it, and then I invested in it and it didn't sell, and I'm losing money. If you have a big following, you can take on that risk, but I don't, so I won't. I just want to feel like that every day. Thanks, Oblivy. Yeah, the lineless thing isn't a complaint. I used to do line art. If you look up that Dragon Force video, that's the only public video I can think of that I ever made that still has the lines in it from my animation days of yore. So I used to have the anime lines. I sat there and I thought, these lines only exist, anime lines, the line art. I was like, these lines only exist because they're... Why do they exist? They exist today because the pipeline throughout the whole history of art and animation, the pipeline has been draw something and then go to the next step, animate it, etc. Color it, all that jazz. Why does 3D animation not have that? Because you don't need to draw it, you model it. So that's why you get stuff like Spider-Verse, etc. that don't have line art. Well, maybe Spider-Verse is a bad example. But you don't get stuff that, you get stuff that doesn't have line art because they didn't need line art to make it. And then I was like, I'm making line art because it fits the style of what I'm trying to do, because I like to consume 2D animation, not 3D animation. So then I was like, okay, like, why am I trying to look like anime? Just because I like to watch anime? That's dumb. That's a dumb reason. So then I was like, forget the line art. I lose a lot of visual fidelity and clarity when I ditched the line art. But what I got in form of like color and direction was so much more valuable. And now I'm learning to just like find strategies to make characters and poses and silhouettes and stuff work with the absence of line art, which is how I end up with stuff like I made these little lines for Grandma's hand today in between her fingers to like help you be like, oh, there's her fingers. It's not just a blob, without having to have like lines on everything just to make those finger lines exist. It's okay to just have part of them. A lot of freaking work and mental gymnastics to make it so that my style is meaningful. This is all I do all day, every day, is think about and obsess about how I want things to look. It's great. It's resulted in the style I have now, which, not to toot my own horn, but it's pretty out there, pretty different. I don't know of a lot of people, especially not in 3D, who do stuff that looks like this. So that's fun. This is certainly not the trending style. What's trending is definitely more in the like inspired by Spider-Verse thing. We've gotten like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and the K-pop Demon Hunters and the GOAT more recently. That is all in that vein. That is so not my thing. I've talked a lot about my dislike for that style on this stream in the past. So I get that we're not trending. We're not doing the trendy thing, but why do I want to go viral? Make it something I don't want to freaking make, yo. What the frick? Think of doing another Kickstarter in the near future? I don't think so. Maybe in the next, maybe in another world in the future we'll start over. But the taste in my mouth after that experience is pretty poor. That was a very defeating month while that Kickstarter was up. Heck yeah, Oblivy. I'm glad you're here. Yeah, like 20%. Like, I'm glad. How's it going, Solo? I'm glad that the people that were already around saw value in my work. Just, we weren't big enough to cultivate a meaningful result. How's it going, Wolfie? I don't know what message you're on about, but this is the first one I'm seeing from you, so hello. I'll show you a failure video. I'm sure a few people will come here saying that, but yeah, I thought the series looks amazing. Thank you, Solo. A lot of people have said that. Glad you're here. Definitely going to continue with the show. So hard to hear over the music. Yeah, I'm gonna work on that. No worries, Wolfie. No problem. Not everyone has to give money. The point of that video was not to go viral doing that, and it certainly wasn't to guilt anyone for not paying. It was more just like, it felt more like I was venting what I was feeling, rather than having like any kind of agenda like that. I understand that not everybody has, lots of money. The point of that wasn't to be like, guys, come on, hook me up. Because that's just freaking lame. The point of that was to just be clear. I'm glad that some people, like, I've gotten a handful of patrons since that video came out, and I really appreciate that. Lots of donations and stuff. Like, people are vibing with it, and I appreciate that. But I don't ever want anyone to feel like they don't deserve to watch because they can't pay, or that they need to feel guilty about it. I don't pay for every, piece of art that I consume because that's crazy. There are people that I support on Patreon and in other avenues, like I pay for art. But I understand that, like, how many things do we all watch, play, consume? Like, we can't all pay for every single thing. That's crazy. Like, there's so many YouTubers that I watch that I'm like, I don't have money for this. Like, I can't give money to everybody. Like, don't feel guilty. That's so not the point. The fact that you like the content and are here to watch is, like, amazing. Like, I really can't ask for more. I certainly don't feel entitled to more. It's just the point of that video was to say, like, if things keep going the way that they are, as a blanket statement, that I might not have it in me to do this as much as I would like to, because, like, working on cartoons today, I'm off. Tomorrow, I'm waking up early to work on cartoons all day, and then clock out of cartoons to clock into my regular big boy job. And, like, that's a full day. And I have a new baby at home right now. Like, it's like, oh, I'm tired. We got a lot of balls in the air, So the point of that video was to kind of just be like, blah. Here's where I am. Here's how I'm feeling. And here's, like, the reality. Teaching you choose all your stuff because 3D style is it's almost the exact opposite. These two get back on my edge, highlight on top of my inverse hollow outlines. We want my characters to pop from the background. Bro, you're pretentious AF. Thanks, Qua. The thumbnail and title of the video is too interesting to ignore at the study viral. How's Little One? Little One's good. And so the 3D model that I'm doing is it's just a 3D, like, what do you call it? It's just a 3D mesh. The way that I used to do this, let's see if I remember. I'm going to back this up just in case I blow things up because it's been a while. And it probably makes more sense to do this with someone else that we know a little better. If I have Quarter Tank here, I could take her mesh. It's got all the rigging done. I didn't do this properly, so this might be a little janky. But if I duplicate this mesh, including all of its input connections, and it's still attached to the rig, and this is what I meant by janky, it might crash if I move it around. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. Don't crash, Maya. Don't do it. And that's Maya. Good thing we backed it up. This is her way. Bow, bow. Break off all vexations. Yeah, I can show this, but I'll just do it in a file like this, because that'll make it a little bit happier. The Time Exile. I have my character. They're rigged. So So then I will take their mesh, Control, Shift, Duplicate to copy all the input connections. So now I have two meshes that are both plugged into this rig. With one of them, I'm going to do display polygons backface culling. What that means is I'll only see the fronts of the faces. So then I will reverse the faces. And then I will transform it out a little bit. And I will apply a black outline. Or sorry, a black shader. So the full 3D, model is still here. But now I have this black outline, or the illusion of a black outline, because this is my mesh, right? It's just slightly bigger, and I'm only looking into it, or I'm only looking into it instead of out of it. So now I have this black outline that makes it pop against the background, and I can do this with every single one. Control Shift Duplicate, display backface culling, mesh display reverse, edit mesh transform, look direction, I don't know how much I want that to be, translate Z minus 0.1, sure. Tune, assign fill shader, and then we make it black, and then boom, we have our outlines. There are, like I said, this isn't optimized properly, and they're all different sizes. Blah 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 blah. It's not perfect, but you get the idea. You can see where all the outlines exist. So this is how they would do a lot of shows like RWBY. That kind of art style, like I'm pretty sure RWBY is done in Maya with something very similar to this exact strategy. And then, some people like this more. I used to make stuff like this. This is the way that I would do it. There are parts of this that I really don't like how these meshes kind of like intersect. That's the kind of stuff like I hate how this ends up. Where like the lines aren't intersecting properly. You can fix this. I used to do it all the time. It was just kind of frustrating. A lot of extra steps to make this look good for a style that I didn't really like. So I ended up dumping that black outline style for the new thing, which is the way that I do it now. Break off all vexations. Buenos noches. Does that mean you're leaving? Or is that... I thought Buenos was like, hello. Thought I'd join the stream to say hello and also offer my sympathies for the Kickstarter flopping. Left my criticism of the video itself. Thank you so much, Alan. Appreciate you. So cool that you're making your own indie show. Thanks, 2Best. Anyone can make their own indie show. Just got to be ready to work and potentially make some sacrifices. Anjoa Ana the exile. This is where I want to end up. So let's move things around a little bit to something more like that. Doesn't defy the gravity of something alive. All my characters, I have all my characters in lore, but I don't have the right things to animate. Another thing I've talked about a bunch before here. If you are feeling overwhelmed by animation, or you're struggling to feel like you have what it takes to make your, your big thing, I've been there. I have advice for you. Woo! You might not love it, but it's my suggestion. Take it or leave it. I recommend you just simply, instead of letting that like kind of get you down of like, oh, I can't make what I want to, and then you end up working on a huge project or not working at all. Just make something smaller, at least for now. And that can come in a number of different ways. You can take the idea that you have and make it smaller. Totally fine. If it's truly too grand, then save it for later. Make something else. Make something small, because small projects are like the nectar of growth for a new creator. Let's say you have a project that you think is going to take you, a year to make. You take a project and spend a year making it, or you can find a project that only takes you a month to make because it's smaller, right? It's still a lot of work. I know that that's not exciting because you're like, oh, I want to make this big thing, my big show, my big idea. We all have big ideas. And you feel like you can't. Or you get stuck making it for a whole year, 2 years, 10 years, whatever it is. If you know what you're doing and you're biting off a big project, great. If you're new and you haven't made a lot of stuff, I recommend staying away from the big project, because you can make that thing that takes a year and you're going to do each step once. You're going to write once. You're going to come up with the characters once. You're going to, animate once, rig once, draw once, whatever all those steps are. You're only going to do them one time. And then by the end of the year, you're going to have probably a cool piece of art. But if you instead made a month-long project, then in the same amount of time, you would have gone through all of those steps 12 times. You would have written once, or 12 times. And then every time you write, you get better. Loving the Lionless Puppet style. Thanks. It is 3D. Everything that I do is all 3D. And then by the time a year is up, you've made 12 projects in the time that it would have taken you to make one. In my experience, every time I make something, I go, frick, I wish I didn't have this in my cartoon. I wish I didn't write this into it. Or I wish I didn't rig my character this way. Or I wish I didn't do the really wide screen. I wish I did the narrow screen. And every time you'll have a wish list of like things next time I'm going to do differently. And that's great. Each time you do those things, you have that wish list, you're going to commit to those, changes, and you're going to get better every time. And that's so awesome. And it's such a good feeling to be like, yes, this time, this part is so much better. So the smaller your project is, the more times you get to refine, and the faster you're going to get good. I am guilty of making big projects, and every time I make something, I have the same experience where I'm like, no, this idea is gas. People are going to love it. This is a good idea. And then I'm halfway through making it, and I'm like, this sucks. I'm ready for the next thing. I wish that I made something smaller every time I say that. And, yeah, I can't recommend making small projects enough. So powerful for your growth. That's my experience. Heck yeah, two best. This walk actually turned out better than I thought it was going to. I'm not there, just watching from afar. Even I'm working on a project and I wish I made it smaller, and I'm just moving PNGs around. Fantastic advice. Thank you, Taylor. Do what I can. Yeah, and this is the truth. This is the more cold, honest truth, in my opinion. Ideas are worthless, and what I mean by that is everybody's got ideas. Everybody always feels like they have the best idea because it's so no shade to anyone's ideas. It's so easy to come up with an idea, but it's applying yourself and what you actually do with it that matters. When you come up with an idea, you don't realize that, like, yes, you can have lightning in a bottle, but coming up with good ideas is a skill, just like anything else. Just like animating, just like modeling, just like rigging, idea having is a skill that you exercise every time you come up with an idea and you get better at it. The only difference is, like, maybe not everyone can animate or, like, has the means to animate in the capacity that they like to, because I believe that everyone can animate. But bro, freaking anybody can come up with ideas. You gotta actually do something with it. And every time you do, you'll realize that your idea, not that it wasn't good, it needs practice just like any other skill. So don't worry about your lightning in a bottle. Don't worry about, like, having the best idea or, like, feeling like, oh, I have this great idea, like, I gotta make this big thing. I promise you, you will come up with better ideas. Not that idea is bad, but your idea, you don't just get to the end game immediately. Dude, I have bad ideas that I thought were fire. And I have ideas that maybe didn't end up being bad, that I know ended up being worse than I thought they were at the time. Because that skill of idea creating gets better, which is just another testament to me saying, take that idea you have or whatever it is, make it smaller than you wanted it to be, and blast through it and learn quick. So powerful. That being said, nothing wrong with big projects. There's lots of people that make big projects. Like, a lot of those, like, great, amazing projects that you see that are huge are done by people that have the, you know, the meaningful skills to do it. I'm purely talking from, like, an amateur standpoint, of which I attribute myself to be. Make things quick. If you're gonna suck fast. Yeah, it's a skill. It's very much a skill, you know? Exactly. Like, if you spend 6 months on something, and it didn't even come out because it was too big, like, make something small, man. I remember when I was when I was a newbie, and I would see people with all this, like, meaningful skill. Like, I remember, like, browsing through ArtStation, and I'm like, why wouldn't you make this a big, full thing? Like, why would you just make this tiny little project? Like, that's so dumb. Like, make something huge, dude. You have the skills. And it's like, looking back, I'm like, I was so wrong for doing that, because I'm like, oh, like, the rapid prototyping through your skill set is just, like, so invaluable. You know? It's all about gold and future. Heck yeah, Renji. How's it going? I feel like I underrate how long things will take to do. I feel like, honestly, that's just all the more reason. All the more reason to do it quick, yo. Straight up. I've recently started to enjoy golfing. And that term I'm robbing from the golf course, where like in golf you don't want to be taking forever because there's always people waiting behind you to play. So they say, like, if you're gonna suck, like, suck fast and get out of the way, essentially, because people are trying to play. Because if you suck, you're gonna take way more swings and you're gonna take forever and you're gonna hold people up. So you gotta be like, if you're gonna suck, suck fast. And that can be kind of applied to any game where, like, people that know the game, like, are trying to enjoy their time too. And I think it's applicable to animation in a completely different way. Where, like, if you're gonna be, you know, if you're a newbie, get those projects out quick, learn fast, learn way faster than if you just trudge through this long thing that I guarantee you're gonna look back at and be like, I suck. I do that every day. I have to word that more safely. Yeah, it's a classic though. Can't argue with a classic. Come on now. Okay, at frame 60, we're gonna change this pose. Will work out. I see the cycle. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. I see the cycle. Oh, yeah. Circle.
Welcome to the Infinite world. What's my end game? There came a zero. And here there's a sevens everywhere. No peace either. Where there is no beginning and no end.
Yeah, it definitely takes a while, but that's okay. It's part of the process. Recently, I hosted what's called an animation jam on my channel, which I can show you guys what I made. I did a 24-hour animation jam. For those of you who don't know what that is, basically you have 24 hours to make something. So I hosted it, I streamed for 24 hours, and I made this. I believe in you. Nope, that's not what I made. Nope. What is happening? Second box. This one. I made this for the 24-hour animation jam. It was pretty fun. Speed battle, yeah. Basically, you like I streamed for 24 hours straight, and it was like, okay, like ready, go, and we had like a theme, and the theme was Wild West. So you had 24 hours to make and submit an animation based on the theme. So we facilitated it all through Discord, and everybody had like a submission, and then I went over all the submissions and took a look at what everybody did, which was super fun. So the reason I bring this up is because, yes, animation takes a long time. But imagine for a second you've allocated yourself 100 days to make something. You could make one thing in 100 days, or you could make 100 things in 1 day each. Arguably, you'll maybe be less excited about the 100 projects as you would the one project. I would argue at the end of that 100 days, you would be 100 times better than if you did one project. So, that's how I feel. Yeah, that was... I remember you having, like, a viewport submission, which was fun. Mr. G. Definitely a headache for the software. Totally recommend. Heck yeah. It was a good time. Yeah, that was the other argument, was that a lot of people don't animate because they feel like they can't, because they can't afford it. They can't afford a computer, or they can't afford a program, or whatever. And then I showed them this. This is what I did when to debunk that. Okay. Let's animate something real quick. Frame 1. Frame 2. All right. In 10 seconds, we're animating for the cost of this notebook and a marker. I know that you don't want to do that. I know you don't want to be a paper animator in 2026. I get it. But those skills that you learn doing that with the paper and the pencil do absolutely translate when you have whatever piece of tech you want. You don't need to wait until you have the perfect setup with the perfect gaming chair, with the perfect computer, and all this jazz. You don't need to wait. You can start now. No, it's not ideal right now. It'll never be exact. You'll never have the exact setup you want. So, if you want it, you can start now for $5. You know? Like, what's up with you? Dude, exactly. It's the only thing that I would change is I would start, like, if I could go back in time, I would just start earlier. I started animating when I was 21. Like, I could have been at my desk in high school with my paper going flipping the pages. Like, yeah, it would help me learn how to use Maya. But once I learned how to use Maya, or whatever software you choose, I then had to learn all of those animation fundamentals that I could have been learning on a piece of freaking paper in school. So, get your pencils up. It's summer break. Time to animate. It all translates, all the skills. Heck yeah, Taylor. Dude, when I started, if you look behind me, there's a Call of Duty montage playing, I'm sure. Yeah. When I started creating, it was back in the day, I was really into COD and like quickscoping and trick shotting. And I had like a clan, and I was like the editor, and I was editing like montages and stuff. I still use all those skills today. I do them in Premiere every day. I was doing them all day today. Like today in my animation career, all of those skills translate. So yeah, it's never too early to start. You don't need to wait for whatever you think you're waiting for. Splendid Blender. Let's go. Yeah, Blender's free. Blender's free. Do you have a computer? You can use Blender for free. Do you have a phone? I guarantee you there's an animation software on your phone. You can draw a picture and it'll put all the frames together. Guarantee. That's epic. It's a good thing. You could do that in class. Do your homework, study, listen to the teacher, pay attention. Those are good skills to have. But like, dude, when there's nothing going on in class, get the freaking pencil out, yo. Play back the history. Yeah, I feel like no matter what you do, if you open up a brand new animation software, especially a 3D one, you're going to be like, whoa. Like, I've been using Maya for, 10 years. And I've had moments where, like, I'll look at someone else using something like Blender, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, what? Like, where is everything? And that's just the nature of, that's just the world of taking on a new software. You're going to be very overwhelmed at first. Just take your baby steps and just slowly figure it out. I'm not a tutorial guy, so I never watched any Maya animation tutorials or rigging tutorials. I just sat down and figured it out. And yeah, if a human can make it, a human can beat it. Is that what they say? Gave me your video. Good luck, Rev. Thanks, Rollpo. Appreciate you. Answers. Are these rigs made by yourself? The characters are modeled and conceptualized by myself. I use a system built into Maya called Human IK, which doesn't do everything, but it starts with like a base rig automatically built into the software. Blender definitely has something like that. I don't know what it's called, but the characters are modeled and rigged by me, but I start with a pre-made skeleton, if that makes sense. I got a failure, just leave. You do good enough following tutorials, you end up copying the thing and don't learn anything. Yeah, I tried watching a tutorial once, and it was very just I wasn't retaining anything. I don't know what kind of learning style that is, but like I was like watching someone do it, and I was like, cool. Like now I'm confident that they know how to do it, but I'm not really. I don't know. I don't know if I just didn't get it or what it was, but it just like it felt like I was moving too slow, or like I was getting frustrated. Like there was also like at the time when I was like looking for a good tutorial, there was like version mismatches and stuff, and like I ended up like basically like bug debugging like someone else's animation in my software than actually like learning anything. It wasn't for me. There's nothing wrong with tutorials. There's nothing wrong with going to school. That's just not the path that worked for me, unfortunately. Not unfortunately. It's fine. Look at the pilot, man. It's got a great style. Thanks, Jolie. Appreciate you. Jolie Moly. I like that. Dude, the way she pops in, I was expecting to have to put way more into that. Looks really good. I'm loving working with like this stepped animation style. It's 8:20. I'm just gonna run to the washroom. I'll be right back. I'm back. Just lean. Okay. Wow, why do you do this? I've been gassing you up all night. Okay, I'm gonna relaunch Maya because it's being a freaking turd. Party. Break out. Sick and tired. Change the feeling. Happiness. Sick and tired. Love the style and mix of absurdity and just sorry they're immediately subscribe. Good luck. Thank you, Ladybug Ninja. Glad you enjoyed it. Stay tuned. Hoping that the first episode is going to be ready to come out like at the end of the summer, like mid-September is my assumption. But we're rolling with no storyboard or script for this one. We're making it up as we go. So I don't know how long the first episode's going to be. So I'm hoping it's going to be like mid-September. Whether or not that's actually the case, impossible to say. Yeah. Beautiful. Heck yeah. Thanks, Ladybug. I'll do my best to honor that goal. I like it when videos come out. So I don't rush, but I definitely try to work a lot so that things come out sooner rather than later. And I will say this. The way that the structure of things coming out is Patreon supporters see stuff early, maybe like a week or two, and then after the Patreon release, I premiere the animations live on YouTube. So there's like chat reactions and stuff. It's probably my favorite part of the animation because I get to see like anyone can like write a comment and like and think about it and like think about their opinion and stuff, which is great. I love the comments, but nothing is quite as like as cool as a creator like seeing like a visceral, unfiltered reaction in chat when people watch it for the first time. So if you have the means to tune in, Definitely watch the premiere because it's a really cool energy having everybody watch all together. Yeah. There'll be updates in the Discord as to when videos are going to drop, but if you turn notifications on for the channel, there will also be obviously like posts leading up to it as to like when the videos will be dropping. But yeah, I'm hoping for a midsummer release. Not midsummer, end of summer. Mid-September. Something like that. In the sunsets, the sky was the face. All that changed. I'm not even gonna pretend that I know how to pronounce your name. Roy. But thank you. I appreciate the love. And we'll try to not let that assumption down. Try to deliver you as much peak as possible. Baby, radiant dawn. To the east does not change it. The world behind the eyelids. Welcome back, Mr. G. You didn't miss much. We're just getting this next pose down. Ready for tomorrow. For there is nothing I want more than now.
We'll just have to swap that. Ma'am, it appears you addressed your order for Hawksbill. We'll just have to swap that address for the one you want here on Trunkfish Island.
Obviously her face isn't moving yet.
Ma'am, it appears you addressed your order for Hawksbill. We'll just have to swap that address for the one you...
Gonna tweak things a little bit. This head is moving too much. And the previous one is moving a little too little. So we'll delete those. We'll leave this one, but we'll delete those. Let's try that. A little too much. It's all up to you. How's that? Better. Choose the big one, it's all up to you. Beautiful. Divine mercy. Okay, let's get this face moving. I thought it was a tragedy.
I thought it was loaded, sometimes I thought it was special. But it's just another life,
the same time. I will never lose. How's it going, Kelly? How's it going? Oh, Filmer Maddie. My neck, dude. Oh, it's so freaking brutal. Gotta do something about my neck. Is that Maya? It is Maya. It is indeed. No difference, no. Every time I say countless times. Slow me down. Exoskeleton, dude, seriously. Can never unsee Quarter Tank's eyelashes as ears. But you saw them as eyelashes. Dude. Everything started right here. Kill a Kill, it's gone now, but it was. Right here, I mean, she's already there. She's already there. But this drawing. That, I mean, that's not the best drawing of Quarter ever, but that sketch framework and those being her like eyelashes was the catalyst of this entire show. So it was really scary to have her come out and be like, I hope people think that those are her eyelashes, because in my mind they look really good, but do they translate properly? But people seem to be... This style is not for everybody, I know that. I've gotten a couple comments where people are like, eh. It's too bright. There's too much... The colors vibrate too much. It's too... You don't know anything about color theory or whatever. I know that it's not for everybody. That's fine. I don't care. if there's, people I'm alienating with the style. But what I don't want is that people that like the style to be like, I don't know what I'm looking at. That is like, huh. And the eyelashes were one of those things where I'm like, I hope people get it. But people seem to get it. How's it going, Drew? What would Cortana look like if she cries? Is she gonna cry? I don't know. I don't think I have any bits. Well, I don't have any bits soon in episode 1 where Quarter is sad. But no promises. Change what doesn't change. Change what doesn't change. Get over nightmares. I'm so curious. I don't want to prod, too much, because I don't want to accidentally I'm curious as to what people. I'm curious what you guys think is going to happen in the show, with the very small, little inkling that you've seen, because you guys haven't seen much in terms of what the show's really about. I think that's one of people's heavy concerns, the heavy acceleration. Don't blame them at all. Yeah, I get it. I knew when I started doing this lineless style that, I would lose some people just aesthetically, and I get that. It's certainly not for everybody. But I don't care. Just found you. Hope your project as well. Thanks, Drake. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss episode 1 when it drops. There's gonna be a bounty on Quarter Takes Grandma. You never know. You never can tell. get over nightmares.
Ma'am, it appears you addressed your order for a Hawksbill. We'll just have to swap.
Black Heart. Thanks, Dan. Glad you like what you see. Yeah, we're definitely going to be getting tricky with it. Things that should never be in quarters line of sight.
Address for the one you want here on Front Page Island.
Snacks. That would be number 1. Because she will destroy them all. See, I don't want to say too much. Because I can think of some stuff. Is it a spoiler? It feels like spoiler because I know what's going on, but I don't think it is. Dripless posers. Love the style so much. Thanks, Dan. Snacks and dripless posers should never be in quarters line of sight. To be lost in No problem. To freedom of God. Freedom of God. looks very Fooly, and I think that's cool. Thank you. I'm a big Fooly Cooly fan. I'm a big Hiroyuki Imaishi fan. Talented dude.
The darkness is pierced by the morning sun. The light is beautiful, and I mess my right valid. But soon I can't open my eyes. But eventually, I guess you
Surrounded by precious things. My heart turns into stone. Bedtime stories. Life is a journey, not a destination.
enjoy the ride without sound downs.
Ba 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 ba. Man, I don't want to work tomorrow. I just want to make cartoons. Dang it. Dude, one day. Maybe not today. Maybe not tomorrow. But one day this will be work. Not a hobby. That's pretty hot. That's pretty hot. Cannot lie to you. Life is a journey, not a destination. Do you have a public playlist of the music list? Do you like soon find the music we hear from what we like? I don't, but we're currently listening to the Guilty Gear Strive soundtrack, most of which is by Naoki. Animation style is so unique. It almost looks like reverse rotoscope in a way. No idea how that would work. I don't know how that would work either. Thank you, Music Man. I'm glad you like it. I don't like rotoscoping. I don't know if that's a hot take or if other people agree. I have never seen rotoscoping that has not irked me. Nothing against the way that it's made. I just don't like how it looks. There's something that is so, it either doesn't look good, and when it does look good, there's something that is unsettling about it. I don't like rotoscoping. That's just me. There's nothing wrong with rotoscoping. But I do think that, not every form of animation is for everyone. And rotoscoping is certainly not for me. So sorry to any big rotoscope fans in chat. You. Holding me like you lost. Beautiful. How's it going, Syed? Get you. I don't know. Yeah, I've seen like rotoscoping, and I've seen it where they just draw on top and and the animation just like looks really fluid. And I've seen it where like that's the whole style, and it's very like strange looking. I don't know, something about it just like rubs me the wrong way. I just don't like how it looks. I'm sure there's a way where you could make it look good for what I like, and I'm willing to bet that there's some stuff that I like that has been rotoscoped and I didn't know. But for the most part, I can't think of any rotoscoping that I like. It's like when rotoscoping is used for comedic effect and makes stuff look more uncanny. Expand friends with you jump with the rotoscoping in a way that adds humor. Yeah, so there's a couple instances of rotoscoping in Smiling Friends that I can think of. There's the one cameo by that animator. I don't know what their name is. Hate how that stuff looks. I don't know what their name is, but it's the episode where he's like, it's so funny, like it's so good, but visually I hate it. Where he goes, we're on the other side of this paper thin wall trying to watch a movie, and all we can hear is injecting DNA into an egg. that episode's amazing, and that character's amazing. But I've seen that dude's animation before. Cannot stand it. It just looks like poo. I don't get it. Not for me. And then there's the bit where like they switch to rotoscoping for when they're talking about Super Monkey Ball, and Mr. Boss daps up Pim. That looks better, but I just don't like how it's like, it's so, it breaks my immersion. I care so much about immersion, and I don't like that. It breaks my immersion. I hate that it's like, oh, there's where they switch to rotoscoping. I don't like that at all. It drives me nuts. Sounds good, The Moth. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate the encouragement. How's it going, Mad Drago? Hope you're having a banger of a day. I hope you're having a banger of a day. My day's been fantastic because I'm making cartoons, yo. What do we have to complain about? What are you doing? It's just beautiful. It's just beautiful.
Once there everything comes through. I've heard of such a dreamy place. Do you think my broken wings will heal? Hope so, 'cause I can't fly.
Let's make this lady blink. Don't know how that's gonna go. Because we didn't make her a blink model. Can't get lost, so all you have to do is walk.
Placed by the name of heaven, the promised land. Everyone is awaiting in a very long life. Placed by the name of heaven, there's a
She's so adorable. I wonder how the world. I want these two. I ever done.
Alright, well,
this to rock a little bit. What am I passing the Discord chat to you? Yeah, go for it. Guys, wish you say a bit. Gotta bounce for work. See you later. Appreciate you stopping by. It's typically don't involve such fluid and realistic movements. Seeing a character so disproportionate and organic, such a strange Israeli experience, is hilarious. Yeah. Like, in that respect, like, I get it. More often than not, it just isn't my favorite thing, you know? Of heaven. That line. Freedom in my head. Ba 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 ba. Bum 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 bum. Yeah, well, this package is about to cause a lot of commotion. So before we get going, any guesses as to what's in there? I'm willing to bet 1,000,000 guesses and you wouldn't get it. A whole car. I like that guess. You're on par with the nonsense of the show, but no, not correct. Secret and bench speed for 11 pie. That would have been a good one, but it's not that. Dude, my neck. I'm tired. Okay, let's delete all of these. The music never stops, no. again.
How my heart had yearned for this. The fires that forged me are now a hearth of my wish.
Falling back to love. Up, 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 down, down, down. Why can't we use these again? Too fast? Oh, they're pretty good. So we just copy these. Sounds good, Ladybug. Thanks for hanging out. Definitely don't miss the show. Find out what is in that package. The music never stops, no. Legend name Harley. Harley's hard to send this together replica of any person, please. Also on par with the craziness that is this show, but dang, it's missing one frame. This one. Okay. I can see at least. Right here. This needs to go out one. So there's another side to me you can't deny. I may not know what the future holds, but hear me when I say that my past does not define me, 'cause my past is not today. Copy and paste. Extend. Boom. Because we just extended, we need a fresh copy. So we end on this one, which means we don't want this, we want this. Bip bop boop. The music never stops, no. Alright, how does that look? Okay, looks good. I am starting to be in need of going to sleep, so we're going to call it here soon. I'm going to get this next pose going to open up quarters resting pose. And I can start with that tomorrow fresh. And then we're going to call it a stream so I can get some shut-eye. It is past my bedtime. Which sounds crazy, but that baby wakes up pretty early.
From Fish Island.
Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. So she'll blink down. Made of condensed milk. I like that.
Hawksbill, Fish Island. Island. Hawksbill, Fish Island.
Just a little too much. Check the method.
What do you think of this?
All right, I'm gonna call it there. I need to get some sleep. Need to get some shut eye. Don't forget. Where is it? Don't forget to join the Discord so that you can get updated as to when the next stream goes live. I'm gonna put the chat. I'm gonna put the link in chat right now. Thanks everybody for hanging out, and I will see you next time. Ta-ta.
Wait it out. I still haven't seen all the shit you've been bragging about. I'm on that wizard shit. You're giving quests in the crowd. Run it back. I've been in this game. I know how to talk to the rats. Getting stacked. All of the spells that I'm hitting just slap. Burning king. All of your treasures fall into my lap. My potions could kill you, bitch, cause your ass ain't strapped.